Well, hello everybody. I'm going home, and oh man, I'm very excited about down here in Marion where we're working. Everything, the trees are starting to bud out. Some of them's bloomed out. People's a sneezing, snots are running, and I just love it. Easter flyers is up, but. And I don't know exactly how good the recording will be right here. I'll check it. Maybe it'll be great, and maybe the sound won't be bad or anything. But I'm in my mobile office. It's my van. I'll let you take a little peek around. I've got all kinds of stuff in here, tools and this and that and the other. But so I wanted to get back to you about me and Amy a meeting, and I told you about God's plan being perfect. And so basically, after several times of trying to find or hoping that I would find a wife and it not working out, what I done is I said, well, Lord, and this is exactly what I prayed. And here's the thing, God will give you sometimes exactly what you ask for. And what I said was, God, I can't go through this no more, this dating and this and that and the other. And I said, don't even let me go date nobody until you send me my wife. And of course, I continued on with trying to and I did. I studied. There for a while. It was at least anywhere from 2.5 to 5 hours a day that I was just studying. You say, well, how do you do that? Well, I was working on the road, and I got up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and usually I was back by 6 o'clock that night, and I'd study for, I'd jump and take a quick shower. It doesn't take me very long. And I was studying, and I wasn't involved. I didn't watch TV. Every now and again I'd listen to maybe something on the radio. I had a little radio, but, and many times, and I know what some will think. Some will think, oh my gosh, you are just... Sometimes you should get rid of your TV. You're probably more addicted to it than you think. But just get rid of your TV. And we've not had regular TV in quite some time now, but several times as me and Amy's been married, there's been years that's went by that I've not had a TV or anything. And but anyway, so, well, I forgot about what I prayed. I'd forgot about what I'd asked God, not to let me date nobody or nothing. And a few times somebody'd introduce me to somebody, this one or that one, and they seemed to be nice enough girls, and sometimes, I'd get their number, they'd get my number, whatever it may be. And it just never worked out, and I didn't really try to pursue it or anything. It didn't work out. But I didn't remember what I had prayed. So what ended up happening is I'd come home one weekend, and I don't know, I'd probably been out riding my four-wheeler or dirt bike or something or other. And I'd come back, and my mom, she had a hot tub, and I was out there sitting in the hot tub, and my uncle, we all live real close together. And my uncle, so he comes down through there, and he sat down with me, and a money truck broke down. That's nice, but he's all right. He's got a couple of state troopers with him. But so we was sitting there and talking a little bit, and I didn't really hang out with my uncle or anything like that. mean, I was like 20, at that time, 22 years old. And we're sitting there talking whatnot, and he says, well, I've got to go to the grocery store. He said, you want to go with me? Well, what 22-year-old fella that don't need groceries wants to go to the grocery store? I can tell you right now, none. I didn't want to go to the grocery store when I needed groceries. But for some reason, and it was just God compelling me, I said, yeah, I'll go with you. So he went back up to his house, and I went to Nanny's and took a shower and whatnot. We left. And going up Cox's Creek, Kirby. But, and we went all over Spruce Pine. It was like 3.5 hours. And finally, we got to the grocery store. I could have killed him. I was thinking, my gosh. Well, we went in, and he got some stuff, this and that and the other, and we started, and he told me, he said, there's a girl I'd like for you to meet. I said, okay. You know, I figured she wouldn't have but 2 or 3 teeth, and, you know, because that's just how my uncle was. And, but, anyhow, we walked up to check out, and we checked out in this little girl's line. And she's a pretty little girl. And he said, this is Amy, and he introduced me to her. This is my nephew, and this and that and the other. We spoke just briefly, and we walked out. And I was like, well, yeah, she's right pretty. And so, and this is how I tell it. She don't tell it this way, but this is how I tell it. So I had a great old big chew of Copenhagen in and everything. That's why I didn't say a whole lot. But, and I didn't know her. I really didn't. We had went to school together. I had never seen her in school. Nothing. And she took one look at me, and evidently she was just infatuated. And I'm going to see if I can get around this dump truck. Hang on. We're going for it. And so we walked out. So we checked out, got through the line, and evidently we was the last ones to go through her line. And then we was putting the groceries in his truck, and she walks up and she says, hey, she spoke to my uncle, and he had, this tells about her age a little bit, but he had lent her a cassette tape of some kind, and she was giving it back to him. I say she chased me down in the parking lot to find out who it was, but she don't tell him that way. Anyhow, we spoke to one another a little bit, and you know, I wasn't gonna, I just told her, I said, well, you know, if you'd like to go and get something to eat sometime, we can. And she said, well, I'd like to. She said, but I've got a date. And I said, that's fine. I said, I'll give you my phone number if you like, and you can give me a call sometime. Well, so what ended up happening is I went back, and I'm trying to figure out who this girl is because I never seen her before. And, well, there's 2 before in the road. But, and I'm just thinking about it, and I just couldn't figure out where exactly she was from or lived, or, and the phone rung. My grandma answered it, and it was Amy. She was wanting to talk to me. Well, she had locked herself out of her mom and dad's house and couldn't go and get ready for her date. And so she had to go to her brother's house to get a spare set of keys, and she decided she's going to call me. And which I answered the phone, and she said, this is Amy. And I'm thinking, Amy who? I didn't know an Amy, but it was her. And she thought I was just trying to blow her off. But anyhow, I said, okay, I'll meet you down at one of the local stores. They had a little video store and everything, P&R. And so we met down there, and we looked at every movie they had, never did find anything we wanted to watch. So she said, well, let's go, and I'll change clothes, and then we'll do whatever. So we went back to her house, and she went and changed clothes, and she got in the vehicle with me, and we took off when we rode up to the parkway. It's not very far from where she lives. We live really close to the parkway. And by this point in time, it's already, I don't know what time it is. It's probably maybe close to 9 o'clock. And we just rode up on the parkway, and we was looking off the mountain, and you could look down towards McDowell County and all the lights and stuff down there. We just sat there and talked. Ended up talking till like 2:30 in the morning. And mostly everything we talked about was Jesus. And that's how me and Amy met. Now, I don't know if you consider that the first date or not, but and what I had done before I'd met Amy is I had made this list of everything that I wanted God to give me in a wife. And I think you should definitely put some time and effort into thinking about it. And every single thing that I had asked for, God gave. I mean, every single thing. And I tell her sometimes, because we've been married for a while now, and I should have really thought it out and asked for some more stuff. No. And it was amazing. I mean, and it didn't take very long. So we met, I don't know. I can't remember exactly when we met. It was maybe February, maybe. And I was driving back down to Charlotte, or below Charlotte, and God spoke to me, and He told me, Amy's going to be your wife. And this was not very long. We had only dated, and He reminded me, because I had forgotten I'd asked Him not to let me date nobody until He sent me my wife. And you know, it wasn't exactly all smooth. We had some rough patches. God didn't tell me to tell Amy that she was going to be my wife, and I spilt the beans sooner than I should have probably. But and we broke up for a while, and then we never did really do no more dating. And we knew each other basically like about 6 months. We got married in September, so however many months that is, count backwards. I can't think, I'm driving. But it all happened, and I knew that Amy was supposed to be my wife. And she didn't know at first, and it took a while. And matter of fact, I had took off going on a big climbing trip, and we would talk, and it was horrible because at that point in time, you didn't have like unlimited. Your cell phone bill would be, I had a cell phone bill for 1 month that was like $800 and some. And so it was horrible. It cost me a fortune that month in phone bill, but I had a cell phone, and she would call me, and I was out in the middle of nowhere in Colorado on a climbing trip, and then sometimes in different places, but and we decided that we was going to get married, and I come home, and we got married, and we had a really we was so poor. I mean, we didn't have much of nothing, but we've made it through the you know, the starting out being married sometimes is pretty tough. But so that's how I met Amy. Anyway, I'm gonna, hopefully this one's turned out good, but you know the drill. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please do, and share it. Maybe you don't like this video that good, so don't share this one, but share another one. And I'm you know, we're going to continue on now that I've finally got to tell you how me and Amy met. You know, I can talk more, and then we can, you know, not that it's very important. Me marrying Amy was very, very important. Anyway, Hope y'all have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye now.